Transition to point B. Japanese culture is the polar of opposite of American low context culture. So Japanese culture is high context. According to the World Population Review, Japan is compares 98.5 ethnically Japanese. Everyone has been raised according to the same rules and values. The Japanese do not find it necessary to provide a great deal of background information or explanation. Japanese rely on context, traditions, and personal relationship to the message. Changing is slow, and the Japanese prefer to discuss things before making the decision. So transition to point C. How are these values communicated in Japanese culture? So how Japanese high context values verbally and non-verbally communicated. Non-verbally, the Japanese assume that the receiver will understand the point of the message. This is because of the Japan's demographics. Verbally, the Japanese provide a rich context and setting for their message. The point of the message is left for the receiver to understand it, and expression. Transition to the main point. Let's analyze one more difference between the Japanese and American culture. So high uncertainty avoidance Japanese versus low uncertainty avoidance American culture has low uncertainty avoidance. The ability and avoid is not encouraged. So some who thinks outside of the box. So Americans do not need a lot of rules and only established if they need it. Transition to the point B, and compression to American culture. Japanese culture has extremely high uncertainty avoidance. So Japanese culture has a high uncertainty avoidance according to the social syllogistic GERD, because Japan is constantly threatened by a natural disasters. Planning has become a deeply embedded of their culture. So how Japanese high uncertainty avoidance are verbally and non-verbally communicated. Verbally, to avoid conflict, the Japanese will avoid saying no flood out of negative response, even when they don't agree with you. So non-verbally, when communicating bad news, Japanese person may smile and laugh to the uncomfortable situation. So this is to avoid uncertainty to how someone will react bad news. Transition to conclusion. So Japanese culture has a very different set culture than American culture. So these values are communicated both verbally and non-verbally. So the conclusion is review Japanese and American culture are very fundamentally different, whatever is to focus on the group rather than an individual. Indirect versus direct communication or the way culture deals with the uncertainty. These values are communicated both verbally and non-verbally within a culture. So closing, in conclusion, looking at the looking between Japanese and American beneficial for many reasons. Be comparing the cultures. I wanted to show that I wanted to show of the learning another culture will also lead you understand your culture more. Are there things you wish were a part of your culture that are not? So, although different, neither culture is right or wrong. Thank you.